Hey, I want to talk today about things. In my case, the things I'm talking about are my cookbooks. I collected cookbooks for years and years. Started in the middle 90s and continued when I went through culinary school, and very briefly my life in the mid 90s, late 90s became complicated. My marriage started falling apart. I lost a lot of people died, and my acceleration with buying cookbooks continued. So I bought. Around 2000 I decided I'm going to go to culinary school. I continued to buy books. I buy so many books that now there's one carton of books, there's now 10 cartons of books. Anyway, I graduated culinary school, I continue to learn, I continue to cook, I continue to enjoy my cookbooks. Now I start moving around to different places around the country. And as I moved, I would bring my cookbooks. It went from one carton of cookbooks to 20 cartons of cookbooks to 30 and 40, it just kept growing. And what I found myself doing is building around me literal fortresses of my books in cartons, milk cartons. And my collection just continued to grow and grow. I would read them and use them. I really enjoyed looking at them at night every day. I would read one, and I learned a lot from them. So they were helpful, but more importantly, they were helpful in that I actually built walls around myself with the books. So this continued for a number of years. And then I met Pam. By the time I met Pam, I probably had about 2,000 books. That's a lot. Then it continued. I think the collection topped off at about 2,500 books. So when I met Pam, literally when I decided to move in with her and her girls, decided to move in together, I had a room dedicated just to my books. That's a lot of books. So anyway, as the collection continued to grow and grow, I realized that there was a connection to these things that were beyond, was not a healthy connection. See, because what I did was I wanted to surround myself with things like most people do. They surround themselves with objects and it protects them somehow. So at that point I realized I need to do something, and I learned a practice called Tonglen. And what Tonglen is a practice of giving things away. And a lot of times it's figuratively. You're giving away love, you're giving away things that are important to you, you're giving things away. And by giving things away, you're actually freeing yourself into being less burdened. And it was true. So I started to give my books away literally. I would give them to people that worked for me that were interested to give them away as birthday presents, give them away any way I could give them away. And I gave away dozens of books, but it didn't matter because at this point I had 2,500 books. But I thought I was giving people something nice. Essentially, I was giving them a used cookbook. Most people didn't even give a shit, but I would give it to them anyway. So now I have 2,500 books, and I need to move to Florida. And there was no way I was going to bring these books to Florida because we just wanted a smaller place, and it was time to really let go. And I did. I turned my 2,500 book collection into a 250 book collection. And even that, 250 books is a lot of books. But we moved those books to Florida, and, there was a burden that was lifted from me by giving something away. We spend so much time surrounded with things. Things really don't help us at the end of the day. They comfort us slightly, and then they become a burden. So while I'm not down to just a begging bowl and a robe, I continue to give things away because to me, there's more of a burden to maintain the stuff than to actually give the stuff away. Excuse me. So the practice is called Tonglen. It's very helpful if you're trying to clean out your house, if you're doing a spring cleaning right now, trying to unburden yourself of things which at the end of the day aren't going to help you anyway. So I have 250 books. Maybe one day there'll be 25 books. Maybe one day there'll be 2 books, and maybe not. Be nice to each other today.